Hi everyone. Today is my check-in after the last 2 weeks of MRIs and ultrasounds and biopsies, and then I had a colposcopy or whatever that's called. So I wanted to fill you in. Feeling crampy today, but I'll get up to that. So I feel like I've been kind of up to date with my last vlog as to what's been going on with me. So I'll just fill you in. Today's, what's today? Today is July 10th, 2025. And I had a endometrial, I had a hysteroscopy and an endometrial biopsy on Tuesday. So that was 2 days ago. The hysteroscopy, she took some, oh my God, I'm spacing. She did the endometrial biopsy. I got the results last night. They all came back as, non-malignant, or no evidence of malignancy is what it says. Good news. I'm just tired and not feeling well. I was really excited this morning, or last night really, and this morning. But now I feel like I should take Motrin because my stomach hurts. And then the the hysteroscopy is kind of interesting this time. So just as a heads up, again, I'm not a medical doctor and all that stuff, but I took, under the nurse's suggestion, I took 3 Motrin, so 600 milligrams an hour before my procedure. I've had colposcopies before, several times. That's when they go up into your cervix. I had only had a hysteroscopy, I think, once before, which was 2 years ago or a year and a half ago, because they found a cyst in my ovary, which they figured is most likely from the tamoxifen. It's crazy what this tamoxifen shit does to you, but anyhow, I don't have uterine cancer or cervical cancer or any other cancer for that matter, so that's all that matters right now, and I'm super happy about it, and wiped. I'd sit up so that I'd have less double chins, but I don't really give a flying fuck right now. So yeah, I had a cyst in late 2023, and she gave me the option to just stop the hysteroscopy, book an OR at a later date, and then go under anesthesia to have it removed. Or she said she can do it in office, but obviously I'm not under anesthesia, just the 3 Motrin that I would have taken. And maybe I took a half a Klonopin at that time too. Anyway, and she said it would be pretty brief, but obviously it's my choice of what to do. So I personally would rather heal from that, even though it's uncomfortable. I'd rather heal from that pain versus healing from that pain while also getting the anesthesia through me and stuff, which is, kind of messes with your system too. So it hurt. At the time, I cramped up bad, and the cutting, and you feel it, and it's a really bizarre sensation because it's not like you can put an ice pack up your uterus to make it feel better. You can use heating pads or whatever afterwards. And at that time, because I'd had colposcopies before, I advocated for myself and said I would like to have 2 hot packs at on the ready. So when 2 of them wore out, then the next 2 were ready. 5 hot packs on, basically 1 on each side by my girl areas. I mean, not down south, but on my stomach, on the bottom of my stomach. The heat packs do help a ton. I wrap it up kind of in the little blue thing that they, the papery kind of blanket they have over you. That way my hands don't get super hot from the hot packs. So going into this, when she went to do the hysteroscopy, it wasn't expected that there would be something there that shouldn't be there. there was a polyp. I could see it as soon as like she went in. She's like, hello, it looks like a uvula, just kind of like hanging around. She's like, yep, that's not supposed to be there. So same thing where she said, she can schedule an OR and do anesthesia and all the stuff, or have her taken out. And I'm like, well, I had it taken out last time. I don't even know if I looked to see what the measurements were. I mean, I saw it on the TV, but that doesn't really mean anything, or on the monitor or whatever, but that doesn't really mean anything because I don't know how big it was, but it doesn't matter. I don't know. She offered again, just do it in office, and I'm like, let's just get it taken care of. I had taken again the 3 Motrin. I took a full Klonopin an hour before, which I don't usually ever do. It makes me like wicked tired. Sorry. I'm like talking energetically and it hurts. Slow and steady. Where's my slow down pillow? I feel like it's behind my head, the irony. Sorry, it hurts. Okay. So anyway, so I chose to just have her remove it. And I was like watching, I'm like, oh, I'll just watch you do it. And then I'm like, oh no, as soon as I saw the metal piece that she uses to cut it, it looks like a medieval dagger thing. And I'm like, oh God, no, I'm not watching that. So I looked away. And obviously every time she clipped or cut or however it was, like I could feel it. And there's no other way to explain it, like someone's cutting into your uterus. And I wasn't cramping up as much as I usually do, which was good. But like I felt it and I knew it was going to be painful. But I breathed through it. I had learned a couple of new breathing strategies this week that I was using. I originally had AirPods in both of my ears to have like relaxing music. I used Insight Timer, and they had quite a few like relaxing playlists going on. But I also wanted to hear what she was saying, because I'm the kind of person that like I want to know all the steps of what she's doing. So I took one AirPod out and had the other one in, but then I ended up I don't even think I had the music on for most of the time. I kept the one in and I just like shut the music off so I could hear her, because I kind of needed to be guided through it as to what to do when. I mean, like with breathing and what she was going to be doing. Because she'll say like, deep breath, or, just make sure you're breathing. So one of the things, and I did these on my last vlog, I did not bring the kazoo with me. Nor the straw, but I was doing a lot of inhaling and outhailing and exhaling with pursed lips, like, because it controls your breathing so that you're not like breathing too fast if you're breathing through a small, like it's hard to hyperventilate if your lips are like pursed. So yeah, so I did that pretty much throughout. And then whatever, like and then she was having like, she got most of it out, and like one part of it like didn't seem to want to come off. So then I looked over at the screen, which is where I saw like the metal daggery thing that that they used to cut everything. And then I'm like, oh, it looks like she's just going like jam, jam, jam to like separate the bottom of the tissue from the actual like polyp. It was a polyp. It wasn't a cyst. I feel like cysts are fluid filled where polyps are not. I don't remember. I'd have to Google it, but whatever. So yeah, so I looked away. I mean, it was interesting. It was cool to see my cervix. My cervix looks great. That's that's wonderful news. And then it feels really weird, by the way, too, if you've never had a hysteroscopy before. I feel like they do that for colposcopies too. Like they shove a whole mess of like liquid up there. I feel like over the years that process has come far, and maybe that's why I wasn't cramping as much. I feel like back in the day, it was almost like they would like blow a puff of air, not literally blow, but like have something that pushes like a puff of air to open your cervix, and that's what hurts so bad. When you go to have it done, I did take a picture of all the parts. I didn't take a picture of the chair that you sit on, because I feel like I'd scare you all if I did that. But it's really just there to keep everything clean, like so that there isn't like water all over the place. When you sit, there's like a blue pad, like you would like a blue large pad, just to keep everything dry. And then there's like this. It looks like a gargantuan Ziploc bag. And then when you sit with your feet in the stirrups, the Ziploc bag basically is what catches the immense amount, I feel like it's saline, the immense amounts of saline that they put up there. And I feel like the saline is what they use to open up your cervix. Again, I could be totally wrong on that, but that's my understanding of how it works. And with that method, because it's like mega fluid, I feel like you don't cramp as much versus like whatever machinery they'd have that would go like and make your cervix open that way. And then they use like iodine and stuff, because she asked me if I had allergies to iodine, which is not the same, I believe. Again, don't quote me on this stuff, because I am allergic to CAT scan dye, which is iodine based, but not actual like iodine. I know that sounds weird. Anyhow, so the procedure itself is just like weird as they're getting up there and there's all that fluid. And I feel like at the end, they also do like this big fluid thing. It looks, like an IV bag. Like, I'm asking you a question, like you're gonna say, yes, Jen, I know what an IV bag looks like. It's like a really long IV bag, because there's a lot of fluid in it, and like it comes down and it feels like it just goes whoosh, like all the way up your box, and then like that just helps to do what it needs to do. And because it's not cold, it's like, it's liquid. It's probably room temperature, but it's a comfortable temperature going up there. It's not like a shock to your system because it's too cold or something like that. So after that was done, she said I would get the pathology back in like 2 or 3 days, and I ended up getting back the next day, which was great. So the biopsy again came back as no evidence of malignancy, and then the polyp they removed came back as benign. Hallelujah. The polyp, like even when I saw it, it was pretty perfectly like oval-ish. If it's got distinct, if it's not like funky looking, there's less to worry about. Like, she was not concerned that it was cancer. It's easy for her to say, but once you've been diagnosed, and especially with all the tests that I've had, like my head just goes to a really not enjoyable place. So I definitely had my moments. Thank God for one of my friends that stopped by that morning, because my appointment was like at 1 in the afternoon, and she stopped by at like 11 to drop off comfort food and flowers from her garden, which just makes me feel like loved. I know I bitch and moan a lot about like the friends that don't step up, but I have to just let that be, because like the friends that do step up, I have such like immense gratitude for, and they just make me feel so loved and taken care of. I mean, I'm single, and I'm not the kind of person that's just going to like be with someone just to be with someone, especially with all the stuff that I've been through. I'm very protective of myself, especially now. I need to be around good energy. I need to be around people that like I legitimately feel loved by, not by people that just feel like they're checking something off of a list. And I mean, this sounds mean too, but like when stuff like this is happening and you don't really know what the results are of what's happening with you, you have to kind of compartmentalize people so that you don't have expectations of them for things that they're just really not able to give you. Some of my friends are awesome about like running errands for me, or whatever they can do, but they're not the kind of people that will sit on the couch with me while I ugly cry. My friend that came over on Tuesday, I was freaking out. I mean, it wasn't even it wasn't even a worry about cancer recurrence. It was just like, I've been through enough. Give me a fucking break. Like, I thought that I'd have my last nipple tattooing, and then like I'd be ready to just go about life and get back into the things that I used to do that were fun, and just like move on and move forward. And then like this pops up where I have a mass the size of a plum inside my uterus that's like slowing my life down. And I'm like, why can't it all just fucking leave me alone? Why can't I curate my life to just, I've gone through this cancer shit, I have new boobs, the cancer's gone, let's just like move along and start, the new me. And then all these little things pop up. Throughout this whole thing, my gynecologist was fairly confident that like it wasn't cancerous and stuff, and just kept chalking, even the radiologist chalked it up to, sorry, you're leaning on stuff. I'm not in the car this time and have that happen. Sorry. I'm trying to multitask too much. Oh my gosh. I'm sweating too. Holy crap. I need to get this sweatshirt off because that's not helping. Here we are. Stay. Oh gosh. I look so slimy. I've got to get in the shower today. Oh. Today's my first day of not needing any Aquaphor on the tattooing too, which I'm excited about. Anyway, going back. Yeah, she was fairly confident that it was not cancerous and that it was like a result of the tamoxifen. Like, whether it's a result of the tamoxifen or not, it's still like drama that's going on in my uterus that like, I don't want to have shit cut out of me all the time just because I'm on the stupid tamoxifen. And when they did the MRI, most of the results said that, the thickening of the endometrial lining and the masses that are in there are, very common occurrences for people that are on tamoxifen. So when I was in the office and everything was like finishing up, I said to her, like while it's fresh in my head, I'm like, is this just what I'm gonna, like, is this just what's gonna happen while it's still am on the tamoxifen? Because I've been on it just about 4 years, and it used to be that you'd be on for 10 years, and I believe now it's 7. I'll find that out more next week because I have a check-in with oncology next week. Not because something's wrong, just as a routine check-in. Because, like, I obviously don't want to be cut into every time, or, if I stay on the tamoxifen and I keep getting these masses and stuff, even though they're benign, I'm like, are they going to become not benign because I'm getting more of them the longer that I'm on it? Is there going to be something wrong inside because my uterine, if my endometrium is getting thicker, it's an organ that's getting bigger that it shouldn't be getting bigger. If anything, it should be getting somewhat smaller as I'm postmenopausal and stuff now. I told her I was going to see my oncologist next week, and I said, I'm pretty sure the conversation will come up about, like, should I stay on the tamoxifen because of all this uterine shit, or should I get off and start an aromatase inhibitor? And I had that discussion with oncology before, but that was before, this stuff happened with the polyp and the plum size thing growing inside my uterus. Just quick refer to the plum size thing. She's been following all of that, like size. Granted, I haven't had an ultrasound in like 1.5 years or so, and now I'm going to have more frequent ultrasounds. But she said every time I have things measured inside my uterus, they are increasing in size, but they're like steadily increasing in size by a very small amount. So will I go on Dr. Google or Dr. ChatGPT and they tell me, which I put in my prior vlogs, that like this is the size of a normal uterus, and I look at my numbers and I'm like, this is the size of my uterus. I'm exaggerating. But it's slowly been increasing over time. With cancer, there'd be a quicker or a large growth over a short period of time, basically. If it's like moving incrementally, that's fine. But if all of a sudden it went from like this to this in too short of an amount of time, that's like a heads up to be concerned. And that's not what's happening. So my gynecologist said that she would not have me get off the tamoxifen just because of the uterine issues that I'm having. I also have a lesion on my ovary, by the way, and again, they're going to just watch that too. I don't think that was there last time. I don't recall. Kudos to them for finding my ovaries, because after the Lupron, they're pretty much like microscopic. anyhow, um, yeah, so she said she'd keep me on the, well, it's not her choice, but like she would recommend me not getting off the tamoxifen just because of all the stuff that's been going on gynecologically. Um, and I also asked her, I'm like, is a hysterectomy on the table here? Like, would life just be easier if I just had it all taken out? And she's like, not necessarily. She's like, I don't recommend you have a hysterectomy right now. It could just cause more issue because my body's been through enough and it needs a fucking break. And I told her also, I'm like, I'm going to Africa in the fall. And I'm like, am I going to be able to go to Africa in the fall and not have issue with like something else going wrong? And she's like, no. She's like, go to Africa. She's like, take pictures and show me next time I'm there. Next time I see her. And she also, this is kind of funny. So I wore this sweatshirt, which, as I say that's kind of gross, but it's just been sitting next to me because it's been hot. Today it's not as hot outside. So I had this this sweatshirt that I wore with my camo nails too, like color streak camo nails to match my camo sweatshirt. But when I forgot that, like, I don't get changed entirely. I just get changed from the bottom down. I keep my shirt on, but I'm like, I don't want to keep this on because if it gets wet from all the saline and gunk, like, I don't want it to be all nasty. So I took the sweatshirt off and I had like a tank top underneath, but I was also like on day 7 or 8 of the tattooing where you put Aquaphor on, but you don't have bandages on. So you have like these Aquaphor circles and it looks like you're lactating, but clearly I'm not because I don't have any stuff to lactate from anymore. So when she came in and I said, like, don't think I'm super happy to see you or something, that I have these like circles where my nipples would be. But I said, I just had my 3rd tattooing, and she asked me how it was going, and I'm like, do you want to see? I don't normally go around like people and be like, you want to see? So I showed her and the nurse, who I've known them for like 15 years. They have seen me through a lot in life. And they were so excited for me. Like, and I mentioned this in my other vlogs. I won't go too much into it. But the coloring is more like natural and flowy, like shading wise. And she added these like little black dots, which I know probably sounds weird, but if you look at an actual areola, like, it's not exactly pink the whole way through. Like, it has, different colors inside. And then I told her, like, the next step is to get the Montgomery glands. But I'm like, my body needs a break. I'm not doing that right away. I'll deal with that after I get back from my trip or whenever I feel like it. There's no rush. But I need to look more into it because it's a different kind of tattooing because it's like texturized. So, but again, my body needs a break. So I just need to give my body a fucking break and then just go from there. Even after I left there, I originally had an appointment, like it would be like the day that I get back from Africa. And I'm like, that is way too much physically in my body. And she's like, no. She's like, push it out like 2 months. Let yourself like settle. Just enjoy the trip and just like, I deserve that. Just, let that be. So when things were done with the procedure, just filling you in on how a hysteroscopy works and all that stuff. The last time I was there for a hysteroscopy, I got up too fast, felt super, super dizzy. I ended up staying there for like 2 hours afterwards because I was just so dizzy. And they won't let you leave unless they know that you're okay. So this time, the main nurse left and apparently she was my chaperone. I mentioned this in a prior vlog. I didn't ask for a chaperone. I feel like my doctor and the nurse are the chaperones. But yeah, a woman came in to check in on me who was like the chaperone. And I was bleeding quite a bit. That was a little bit surprising to see. I knew there would be some blood from the cutting, but when I got up to go to the bathroom to get like changed, I was like, holy fuck, that's a lot of blood. So they have those like mega diapers. They're not diapers, they're pads. They're like the big ass pads that like you get after you have a baby or something. And she's like, take one of those. And she's like, do you have pads at home? I'm like, not really. Like, I haven't had a period in like, 3 years or whatever. So she sent me home with a bunch of those big pink pads. And those mega purple pads that I talk about jokingly from like years ago, I never got rid of them. So, as much as you want to, it was good to have it at home because I needed one yesterday. So it was a pain to clean up. I don't know why they didn't. I feel like I needed like wet wipes, but there were none in the bathroom. I don't know what the hell that was about. But anyway, took my time to get up, took my time in the bathroom. And then because I was bleeding so much, I got kind of nervous. And then I just went back to the table after I got dressed, and I just like sat for a little while. And then they checked in on me, and they're like, there's zero rush. So she brought in like 2 apple juices for me to drink. And then I just like waited there and like super slowly. Actually, the apple juice I had before I got up to use the bathroom. But then I after I had the apple juices, I did sit up. They like, because the seat's adjustable, the bed thing is adjustable. So they lifted me up slowly. It's like everything was just super slow. And then when they were out of the room and I got up on my own, like I just sat up on the seat for a while before I actually like put my feet on the ground. And then like when I put my feet down, it was like one leg at a time and super, super slow. And like I didn't, there was no rush for me to get out of there. So I probably, what was the appointment? Like an hour and a half altogether. They're not up there and for an hour and a half. A bunch of it is like prep beforehand and signing papers and then just making sure you're okay afterward. And I had a friend of mine drive me and walk me up, and she stayed in the waiting room, which I would highly suggest because leaving the hospital and then going like just to the car, it's a lot of walking and you're like freaking bleeding as you're walking. So it's a little uncomfortable, and it's dizzying to walk, that far too, even if you're just walking to the entrance, whatever. I mean, she picked me up because I got to the door and I was just walking so slow, and she's a fast walker. And I'm like, I can't walk fast. I'm like, and she walked behind me, which I think it was just in case I was feeling, unbalanced, she would have caught me or whatever. Like I wanted her to walk next to me, but I get that she wouldn't be able to see as well next to me if I was about to fall over. I didn't fall over. And then I got home and, took it easier for the day. I took the day off of work. My heating pad broke. That was great timing. So a friend of mine went out to get a new heating pad. So that's been on quite a bit. I was so tired. Like I'm still tired, but I'm not like out of control tired. I was like out of control tired for the past 2 days. Like I just could not keep my eyes open. I was like, woo. And I think like last night I started feeling better. Like I worked from like 7 to 9 last night. Because I was feeling better. Friends brought meals, which was wonderful. People checked in on me, which was wonderful. And again, like it's this turning. It's this cycle of, not cycle, but it's this switch of how you're being, where it's like stop expecting everyone to show up the way you want them to show up. You have to like take the love that is coming in, and don't waste the energy on the people that you're waiting to reach out to you, even if they're family or someone super close to you that you think should be checking in on you and they're not. Like you have to let that energy go. You need the energy of the people that are around you, that are there to support you and love you. And if people are even like coming to help you, but they're not like good energy when they're here, send them off along their way. Like, thanks for dropping this off. See ya. You just have to focus on you. I have been through so much bullshit, especially in the past 4 years, that like, I don't have time for it. I'm like, I don't care if I annoy you. The right people will stay. It's the foul weathered friends. The people that are there in the tough times and not just there in the good times. Like my one friend who came over on Tuesday, and I just ugly cried, like hard. And I'm like, I just need to get it out. Not because I'm scared of cancer, just because I'm so tired of health bullshit. I just want to go about living life. Like, it's July, and I know this is a first world problem, but I have not gone kayaking at all. I was going to join the Y and do the Livestrong program. Haven't done that. I've reached out to them, but wanted to go back to playing tennis, and then this stuff happens. And I'm like, I can't be running around right now. Anyhow, so the bleeding happened on Tuesday pretty much all day. I probably went through like 4 of those pads that day. And then it eased up a lot overnight. It's very indicative to how much you're moving as to how much you're bleeding. So if I'm bleeding too much, time to lay down and not move, which is partially why I'm like relatively laying down right now, and have like whatever. Anyhow, because this morning I started bleeding too, and there was like pieces of tissue coming out. But I know that that's normal because, like, you know, she cut remnants out, so, and that's happened before, so I'm not super concerned about it. I also didn't eat breakfast early enough, I think. Keeping yourself hydrated, I've had Gatorades and liquid IVs, and my head was bothering me, so I had some coffee, but not too much because it's, again, dehydrating. Making sure I'm eating enough like fruits and veggies, and protein. Yeah, and just not like overdoing, you know, like I'll work for like an hour and then like take a break. And if I need to use sick time, then I'll use sick time. You know, you figure all that stuff out as you go. But I am just beyond thankful that the tests are all benign, and I'll feel good to get in the shower in a little bit and just like not look so grimy, and put like fresh clothes on and just be like comfortable and clean. And right now I'm like I actually haven't left my apartment since Tuesday night when I got home. Part of that's from my stomach just hurting and feeling nauseous and stuff. And I'm not even like walking totally upright. I'm kind of like keeled over a little bit because my stomach hurts. But I feel like I need to, not right now because I'm still bleeding a little bit, but I need to today at some point, like maybe after the shower, like just go walking down the hall or something, and just to move, period, to get like my normal juices flowing. So that's where I'm at. Good news. I have routine appointments like oncology and stuff, but there should be, I was going to say, there should be no poking and prodding. Not true. I have to get labs done for oncology. But I don't know if I had to get those necessarily done before I see her. I should ask her in the gateway if I actually have to have them done. But one thing at a time. I renewed my passport on Tuesday before I went for my appointment, which was a really nice feeling. Because, yeah, I'm going to friggin' Africa. Like, what? I'm going to Africa. I'm very excited. All right, I gotta go. My stomach feels icky. I'm drinking chamomile tea, but I think I need the heating pad, even though I'm hot. I could just take this off. All right, so that's where I'm at. If you have any questions that I missed about the hysteroscopy or the biopsies or the colposcopy or whatever, put them in the comments below, or DM me, or send an email. I will check any of those. And I thank all of you watching, as always, for your continued support and for the trust that you put in me, too, when you reach out and, you know, either comment here or in what other social media avenues or Gmails that you contact me. You know, it truly takes a lot of people put together to make sure that we get through this crazy ride, and you know, we're not alone doing it. So yeah, that's all I got for today. I'll check in a couple days, probably let you know how I'm feeling. Bye.